Yo, it's Norman Woods. Back in Lincoln Heights, and now we're gonna go over Feeble. So you learned how to ollie, you've done a couple flip tricks, and you've done a board slide. Next up is a Feeble grind, in my opinion. Now this is like the easiest grind to do when it comes to a flat bar. I think you should probably learn how to 50-50, at least on a curb first. Not on a rail, because in my opinion 50-50 rails is harder than Feebling. So this is a very simple trick. Where the difficulty comes is that you're gonna tend to over pop, right? So basically you're gonna roll not quite parallel, but not at a very sharp angle to the rail, less than a 45-degree angle, right? You're gonna pop and you're gonna ollie over just like you would if you were gonna 50-50, except you're gonna allow your front truck to go over to the other side of the rail, and you're gonna catch your back truck on the rail. And you're gonna hold this position to the end of the rail until you're ready to come off. What makes this difficult is a lot of people tend to ollie too high. So then when you get onto the rail, you lose your momentum and you hit it with such force that you can't hold. So it's a good thing to practice ollieing just high enough to get onto the obstacle that you're trying. So that once you get in, you can engage your core, you can hold your feet, and you can hold your shoulders. You want to keep your shoulders basically parallel to your board while you're grinding. And when it comes to the edge and you're coming off, you just want to try to slightly lift up. Just a tiny lift up like you're rolling off of a curve. Okay, so once you have it down on a flat bar, the next thing you're going to want to do is a handrail. Similar to the board slide, some of the sliding, or in this case grinding, is taken care of by the fact that you're going on a down grade, right? Same thing's going to apply. You're going to try to pop only high enough that you get onto the rail, not too high, so that you don't do one of these. Get on and then sack that rail, right? So make sure that you ollie just high enough to get on. And you're going to remember that when you skate a handrail, you only need to think about getting on about halfway down. Now this applies to reasonable handrails, like from 5 all the way up to 10. When it gets to 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way up there, you're on your own. You wanna, it's a little bit different. Maybe we can make another video about that, but you're gonna wanna get on about halfway down. And then same thing you do on the flat bar, you're gonna wanna engage your core and hold. Keep your shoulders parallel to your feet. When you make it to the end, slightly lift up like you would going off a curb, and that's basically it. One thing to talk about is square rails versus round rails. Now, round rails are a little bit easier because you have more leeway as far as where you position your trucks, and you can kind of feel around to see where you want to get. But when you're on a square rail, I'd recommend keeping the weight of your left shoulder if you're goofy and your right shoulder if you're regular on the outside of the rail, so the side you came from, and keeping your front shoulder, whether that's your right or your left shoulder, depends on your stance, keeping that on the other side of the rail, so you're kind of counterbalanced. A lot of things in skateboarding have to do with pressure, kind of like that. So that's how you Feeble grind. Thank you for watching. Any questions, mention them in the comments. Like and subscribe. And thanks, Lawrence, for filming.